back to 25 people on the ice. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's nice. It's better for the kids too. Like they're more like they can chat and skate by each other. So yeah, it's nice.
So you're
Good.
back to your full-time driving?
Yes, but this week only 3 days. So we're because they already had like a scheduled like 3 days off, 4 days off. So it'll be nice. So just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is like full days, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is days off. So it'll be nice to just kind of regroup and get the schedule back up. So yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But it's nice. It's nice to be back to be able to coach with all the other coaches too. Like be on the ice together is always fun as well. So yeah.
That's good. Kids must be happy to be back on the ice.
Yeah. And with their friends too, right? Because it was like the Hunger Games. Like they had like 8 spots. And so like Thursday at 9:00, like they had, multiple sessions, but it was like as they would release the sessions, parents would try to sign up, but it like because parents were even quicker, they were like gone the sessions, right? So it's just
It's whoever clicked the button first got in.
yeah, and whoever hit pay would get that session. So it was like
Jeez.
people would be like, well, we can't do this day, so we'll do so it was an interesting like kind of reaction. So we added more sessions and stuff to try to like make everybody, but like friends weren't getting on the same session. So that was hard, right? Because they like to just skate with their friends sometimes. So
Oh, it's like buying concert tickets, for God's sakes.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It was crazy. And you get emails like, you opened it early. And it's just like, no, we didn't open it early. It's just, you were like, yeah.
That's
It's
funny.
competitive to begin with, and then it only gets more competitive, of course, with that. Oh,
So I'm just gonna grab my stand.
Yeah. No. I think I passed you though, Di, on the 138 on Friday, Thursday. Were you driving from like Castleman down? Well, not Castleman, but when you go onto the 417?
nope,
No?
no.
Because I saw your blue car, your Volkswagen.
Oh, it's George.
I was on Friday. I was coming back from work. Is that who you saw? Me?
Yeah, on the 138?
Yep.
Yeah. So it must have been you. I just saw the blue car and I automatically just assumed it was you.
George had to use the Beetle on Friday, so it was likely George. What time was that, Mark?
Probably around like 3:00.
Oh, that would have been early.
I was there a little later than that, though, Mark. But there's more than one blue bug around,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There's a blue Beetle at a house just on Post Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
So potentially.
I thought it might have been you just coming from like maybe like the Prescott Russell region. That's why I was like, maybe she's out like at a call or something. So that's why I thought maybe it would have been.
It would not be unusual, but actually on Friday, I was driving the Tiguan coming back from Winchester. So I wasn't even on the 138. Yeah. Yeah, but it's true. I forgot. You're right. You had the Beetle.
But that was more like 5 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so it would have been you then.
You'll have to put eyelashes on it.
We get that a lot, and I actually, when I'm in the Beetle, if I'm listening to my radio station, I'm typically singing at the top of my lungs when I'm alone, and people laugh because when they go by, I'm literally going.
Yes, we should personalize the bug. You're right, Josh.
Yeah.
To me, for some reason, the eyelashes, they fit the car.
So true. So true. You've seen the yellow one around, I think, at times. It's all
That's
decorated.
Joanne's, yeah.
With eyelashes and everything?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
it's cute.
You can't fly incognito when you're in a Beetle to begin with. So I'm not sure adding eyelashes is something I'd want to do because I'm under the radar already. Invariably, if you're going to be speeding in a Beetle, you get caught.
Yeah.
Amin can help us, though, in that
Yeah.
situation, right?
Yeah. Did you see that guy on 417? It was on Facebook driving 180 on a donut. Like he had a donut on the car. The spare.
No.
No.
Oh my
Doing
God.
180. You're not even supposed to drive over 80 kilometers on that spare.
Oh my.
Oh my. Wow.
180.
180.
Wow.
Did they impound the car?
Oh, of course. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, holy jeez, like, what were you
Jeepers,
thinking,
that's
man?
a spare tire.
Yeah, those aren't speed
Yeah.
rated, are they?
Yeah, they tell you to drive no more than 80 on the spare.
Yeah. Wow.
Living on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, living on the edge.
Oh, that's okay. You can stay there.
Oh,
It was,
there's Vina.
There was one I remember seeing where the guy's tire blew out. And that's how they caught him, because his tire blew.
Wow.
So you see in the picture, and it basically tore up the fender. I mean, when a tire lets go at that speed, it's a really violent event.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh.
I'm getting the picture.
Your hand.
You okay there, Divine?
Hi,
Are you okay?
I'm just tired.
She's always tired.
I'm tired
All right,
too.
Mark's gonna work you. He'll be awake after this session.
No. Probably gonna be ready for that after this one.
No sleeping in Shavasana.
Yeah. Shavasana.
However you say it.
George adds a T to
Yeah.
every yoga term there is.
It sounds better. Better. Sorry.
Shavatna. All right, everybody, let's work our way into Shavatna.
No.
Oh boy.
Oh, Mark.
Oh, George. Oh. And as you make your way down into Shavasana, just a
Mark, I muted you. I was trying to pin you and I muted you by mistake. There, thank you. Sorry about that.
It's all good. And letting your body begin to settle into the floor. Taking a deep inhale through your nose. Exhaling it all out, let your body melt a little bit more into the mat. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Letting your body to begin to find rest. Letting your mind begin to calm. And taking this opportunity this evening to let the day slow down. And taking some time to check in with yourself. Notice how you're feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Taking a few moments to scan from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Notice if there's any areas where you might be carrying tension. Breathing into those areas, letting your breath dissolve any tension. Letting your body settle a little bit more. Notice if anything might be a little bit sore, or if anything might be a little bit tight or a little bit stiff. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath soften anything that might be a little bit tight or stiff. Bringing relief to anything that might be sore. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. And taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. And take a few moments to set an intention for the class this evening. Something you wish to receive from the practice. On the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. And take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, slowly draw those knees into your chest. Giving them a nice gentle squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then opening your arms up into a T and gently letting the knees fall to the right side, coming into a twist. Trying to keep your left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. You could always slide a block or a cushion underneath that right knee for a little bit of support. Breathing into any sensation that you might be feeling. Letting your breath ease those areas. Finding a little bit more rest in the twist. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Nice deep inhale. Exhale it all out. We'll take one more breath in. Exhale completely. Then slowly draw those knees back up to center. Then gently letting your knees fall over to the left side. Trying to keep that right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Sliding a block underneath the knee for a little bit of support. Breathing into any sensations that you're feeling on this side. Letting your breath soften those areas. Finding a little bit more rest. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Nice deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Take one more breath in. Exhale completely. Then slowly draw those knees back up to center. Then drawing the soles of your feet together and coming into reclined butterfly. So lowering those feet down onto the mats. Allowing those hips to open up and gravity to draw those knees closer to the mats. You could always draw those heels closer to your body for a little bit more sensation in the hips. Or draw them a little bit further away to soften the sensation. But bringing your right hand onto your abdomen and your left hand onto your heart. And with every inhale and exhale, feeling the rise and fall of your chest and abdomen. Breathing into those hips. With every exhale, allowing your body to find a little bit more rest. Softening your shoulders. Take a few more breaths here, allowing those hips to open up a little bit more. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, drawing those hands underneath your knees and gently helping them up. Slowly draw those knees into your chest. And opening up to happy baby, grabbing the outside of those feet, opening the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Draw those knees back into your chest. And let your knees sway from the left to the right. Gently letting your knees fall to the left side or to the right side. Coming into fetal position. And we'll take a couple breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then slowly begin to press your way up. And making your way to tabletop position. So we're going to come into a posture that we haven't done in a while. And I was going through notes and I'm like, we haven't done toe squat in a while. So let's do toe squat. So trying to spread out those toes. And then from here, sitting back on your heels. And you can always rest on your hands if it's a little bit too intense on your toes or the back of the legs. Or if you feel comfortable and you want to go a little bit deeper, you could always reach those hands back. So feeling the stretch in the instep of your foot. Keep breathing into the sensations. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you challenge your edge? Maybe you walk those fingers back a little bit further, or maybe you've reached capacity and you walk to the top of your hands. We have a few more breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale it all out. Last full breath in. Exhale completely. Slowly releasing, drawing your hands back onto the mat, releasing the toes, and then gently tapping them on the floor. And then from here, we're going to move into ankle stretch. So coming into that counter pose. So your knees are as wide as your hips. Sitting back on your feet. And then you can gently either lean back or you can lift up those knees. So you should feel it in the top of your ankles. Keep breathing in. You can always slide a block underneath your knees for a little bit of support. Keeping your breath nice and consistent. Nice even inhales and exhales. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, maybe you challenge yourself by leaning back a little bit more. You draw up those knees a little bit higher. Again, the sensation we're looking for is heat. It might be a little bit of stronger heat. We're here for a few more breaths. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Another deep inhale. Deep exhale. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Very nice. Slowly begin to release out. Drawing those hands back onto the mat. And then picking up those ankles and maybe gently turning them in one direction. Nice and slow. Turn them in the opposite direction. And then from here, we're going to make our way down onto our stomach. So walking those hands out, lowering all the way down onto your stomach. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So drawing those elbows underneath your shoulders. Releasing any tension in your legs. Allowing your eyes to close. And take a deep inhale here. And exhale, breathe into any sensation that you might be feeling in your spine. Maybe your mid-spine. Maybe you're feeling it in your shoulders. And always feel free if the option is if it's a little bit too intense, you could always walk those hands a little bit more forward to soften the curve of your spine. Trying to allow those shoulders to soften. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, draw your chin to your chest, so stretching out the neck. Take another deep inhale here. Exhale, can you draw that chin a little bit closer? Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On the next inhale, begin to bring that chin back up just a little bit. And then exhale, draw your right ear to your right shoulder. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, can you draw your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder? Take one more breath in. One more breath out. On the next inhale, draw that chin back to center. And then exhale, draw your left ear to your left shoulder. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, can you draw your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder? One more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, draw that chin back to center. Then exhale, slowly lower it back up to neutral. And so your option is to stay here in Sphinx pose, or maybe you come into seal by pressing into the palms of the hands, straightening those elbows, drawing the shoulders down and away from your ears. Keep breathing into the sensations in your spine. And your option is to stay here, or maybe you walk those hands up a little bit higher. So challenging your spine. Keep pulling those shoulders down and away from your ears. Got a few more breaths here. Deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Notice maybe if you're carrying any tension in your feet, can you soften your ankles? Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Last one. One more inhale. Exhale completely. And then slowly lower all the way down. Very nice. And drawing your hands together and letting that forehead rest on the top of the hands. Allowing your spine to begin to settle. Your shoulders to soften. Notice how your spine feels as it begins to release and relax. What sensations you're feeling. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. We'll take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale it all out. Very nice, and slowly draw those hands underneath your shoulders. Push up to tabletop and keep those knees together. And then coming into closed knee child's pose, so let those hips settle back on those feet. And maybe you walk your elbows into your knees, or you can always take your hands to your feet. Trying to allow the top of your head to rest on the mat. And if that doesn't happen, you can always slide a block underneath. Just trying to remove tension from your neck. Take a few more breaths here. Letting those shoulders soften. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to come back up to tabletop position. Planting our hands, curling our toes. We'll send our hips up on our downward facing dog to set up for pigeon. And we're not gonna hold pigeon as long this evening. So curling those toes under, send those knees up and those hips back. Pedal out the feet. Bend one knee, straighten the other. Repeat that on the other side, stretching out the back of the legs. Eventually finding both heels down onto the mats. On the next inhale, float that right leg high to the sky. Then coming into pigeon pose, drawing that right knee to your right wrist. Your right ankle to your left. Release your toes. Inhale, walk your hands up to set those hips. And then exhale, begin to walk those hands out. Allowing that right hip to settle. And feel free to always slide a block underneath maybe that right glute if it's a little bit too intense in that hip. Trying to remove any tension from that left leg. And maybe you feel very mobile today and you can walk your hands out and then allow that body to rest on the mat. You can always slide a block underneath your forehead. And with every exhale, letting your body find a little bit more rest. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk those fingertips out a little bit further? Challenging your edge. Very nice. Take one more breath in here. One more breath out. And then slowly begin to walk those hands up. Planting your hands, curling those toes. We'll send our right leg back to our three-legged dog. Giving it a little bit of a gentle shake. Then releasing those right toes down. Inhale, float that left leg high to the sky. Then setting up for pigeon on the other side, drawing that left knee to your left wrist. Left ankle to your right. Release your right toes. Inhale, walk your hands up to set those hips. Exhale, begin to walk those hands out. Coming into reclined pigeon. Allowing that left hip to settle. Releasing any tension from that right leg. Option to slide the block underneath that left glute if it's a little bit too intense in that hip. Maybe this side's a little bit more mobile than the other and you can walk your hands out a little bit further. Maybe you have to be a little bit more gentle and you hold back a little bit more. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk your fingertips out a little bit further, challenging that edge. Letting that left hip saddle a little bit more. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale it all out. Then slowly begin to walk those hands up. Very nice. Planting your hands, curling those right toes under. Send that left leg back to your three-legged dog. Giving it a little bit of a gentle shake. Then release those left toes down. And coming into widening child's pose. So lowering those knees down as wide as the mat. Draw those big toes together and push back to your child's pose. Allow those hips to settle close to the feet. Allow your shoulders to soften. And if it's a little bit too intense on the glutes, you can always slide a block underneath your glutes and your heels to just give a little bit more of a cushion. Removing some of the intensity from the hips. And take a few moments here to notice maybe if your mind might have wandered or gotten distracted. Just drawing it back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Allowing those shoulders to settle a little bit more. Allowing those hips maybe to settle a little bit closer to your feet. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, slowly come back to tabletop position. Planting our hands and then drawing those knees underneath your hips. We're going to come into thread the needle. So planting that right hand on the mat. Inhale, float that left hand up to the sky. And then exhale, draw that left arm underneath the right. Releasing that that left shoulder onto the mat. Maybe your left ear. And you can keep that hand pressed into the mat. Or maybe you take that right hand up. And then you could always reach it back for that left hip. Breathing into that left shoulder. We'll take a few more breaths here. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to press into that right hand as you release out. Maybe gently giving that left arm a little bit of a shake. And then planting that left hand down onto the mat. Inhale, float that right hand up to the sky. Then exhale, draw that right arm underneath your left. Releasing your right shoulder onto the mat. Maybe your right ear. And your option to stay here, maybe you take up that left hand, float it to the sky, and then draw it to that right hip. Bringing a little bit more sensation into that shoulder. Keep breathing into the shoulder. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then slowly begin to push into that left hand. As you begin to release that right arm, maybe giving that arm a little bit of a shake. And then from here, we're gonna move into frog pose. So drawing your mat up, so turning sideways on your mat. Drawing the sides up to give a little bit more cushion. Opening the knees as wide as you can. Trying to keep the heels in line with your knees and your feet flexed. And take a deep breath in here. And exhale, maybe you lower down onto your forearms. And take a moment just to feel the sensations breathing in. And take a deep inhale here. And exhale, maybe you begin to shift those hips back. And the sensation we're looking for in that groin area, the hips are just like a heat. If you're feeling anything more than a heat, you're going a little bit too far, so I would release the hips forward. If you're feeling a little bit more relaxed, you can always draw those hips back a little bit further. And if you have a block, you can maybe let your forehead rest on the block. With every exhale, trying to allow those hips to settle a little bit more. On the next inhale, slowly draw forward just to release those hips. Exhale, hold here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, can you send those hips back a little bit more? Just challenging your edge. We've got a few more breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it all out. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to draw forward. And then from here, coming up onto your hands. Nice and slow. Gently begin to walk those knees in. And we're going to make our way to Shavasana, so release your mats. And make sure that your block is handy as well. Kick your feet to one side or another, coming into a seat and lowering all the way down onto your back. Letting your palms face up. And allow those hips to begin to settle. Allow your shoulders to soften. Notice the sensations that you're feeling as those hips begin to relax. And take a few more breaths here, allowing that body to relax a little bit more. Letting those hips settle a little bit more. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees into your chest. Giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then lower your feet down onto the mat and grab your block or your cushion, and we'll come into supported bridge. So draw those heels as close to your glutes as possible. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then on the next inhale, shift those hips up and slide that block underneath your tailbone or maybe up a little bit higher. But allow your hips to settle in to your block or to your cushion. Allow your palms to face up. And feel free to always adjust the block if it doesn't feel right. Allow your shoulders to soften. Trying to move tension from your neck. And notice any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. Take one more breath in. Exhale it all out. Then on the next inhale, slowly shift those hips up, sliding that block out and slowly lowering those hips down onto the mat. Drawing your knees back into your chest for a nice big squeeze. Just gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Then releasing your feet down onto the mat. We're going to come into reclined pigeon. So we're going to pick up that right foot and cross it over the left. And then draw that left knee into your chest. And either you clasp your hamstring or your shin. And try to remove tension from that left foot, your right ankle. And your option this evening is just to keep it passive, like just by holding your hands around your knee or your hamstring. Or maybe on the inhale, you draw that left knee in to your stomach. And on the exhale, you just allow your body to hold here. Maybe you draw that left knee in a little bit closer. Exhale, hold here. And we'll take a few more breaths. You could always draw that knee in a little bit closer. Or you could just let your body rest. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly release your hands as you lower that left foot down. Then shift your hips to the right side of the mat. Open your arms up into a T and let that right knee drop down to the left side. Coming into that closed twist. Keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. You could look over that right shoulder. Your left hand could always rest on that right knee. With every exhale, gently applying a little bit of pressure. Take a few more breaths here. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. And slowly draw those knees back up to center. Release that right leg, square the hips. Then pick up that left foot and cross it over your right. Draw that right knee into your chest. And either you clasp your hamstring or your shin. Removing tension from your right foot and your left foot. And you can stay resting here. Or maybe on that next inhale, you draw that right knee in closer to your chest. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, maybe you draw that right knee in a little bit closer. Exhale, hold here. And you could stay here, or maybe you continue to draw that right knee in. We have a few more breaths. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly release your hands as you lower that right foot down. Shift your hips to the left side of the mat. Open your arms up into a T and then let that left knee drop down to the right. Coming into a twist. Keeping that left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. You could always look over that left shoulder. Your right hand could rest on that left knee. A few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. Releasing that left leg, squaring the hips. Draw those knees into your chest. And open up to happy baby. Grab the outside of those feet, open the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, open up to Shavasana, legs as wide as the mat. Palms to face up. Letting your body melt into the mat. Taking this opportunity to let go. Letting your body find rest. Letting your mind find peace. Taking a few moments to scan over your body. Notice if there's any tension anywhere. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath dissolve any tension. Letting your body fully relax. Acknowledging any thoughts that might be rising up. Letting them continue to pass by. Coming back to your inhales and your exhales. Letting your body begin to reap the rewards from your practice this evening. The benefits from all the postures, sinking deep into your muscles, into your mind and into your body. On the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to the room. On the next inhale, slowly begin to reach those hands up and overhead. And then grabbing one wrist and gently pulling it to one side of the room, feeling the stretch in that side body. Then release that wrist, grab the other wrist, gently pull it to the opposite side. Releasing that wrist, reach your hands to the very back of the room and your feet to the very front. On the next inhale, take a full body stretch, breathe in. And all go. And slowly draw that right knee into your chest, giving it a nice big squeeze. Showing it some love. Gently adding a little bit of movement back. And then releasing your right leg, drawing that left knee. Giving it a nice big squeeze. Showing it some love. Gently adding a little bit of movement back. Then drawing that right knee back into your chest. Give them both a big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circle your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then let your knees sway from the right to the left, gently letting your knees fall to the right side or to the left side, coming into fetal position. And offering a couple breaths of gratitude. Grateful for your practice this evening. Grateful to our bodies. Grateful for the beautiful weather this weekend. Take a few moments to reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all out. On the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed and drawing those hands to heart center when you arrive. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it all go. On the next inhale, draw a gentle smile to your face. Exhale it all out. Take a few moments to thank your body for all the hard work it did this evening. I thank you and I'm very humbled by your practice. Namaste. Wonderful job, guys. Woo.
Thank you, Mark. It was a good class, as
It
usual.
was.
Oh, thank you. It was good. I totally forgot about toe squat, and I was like looking through notes on like postures that I've done before, and I was like, What?
So when you said, okay, so we'll do this for a little while or we haven't done this for a little while, George said, I hope we don't have to do this for another long while.
Hurts my toes, Mark.
That is such a good stretch though. It's good
Yeah.
for toes, yeah.
It's all pain.
No, good. I was falling asleep. Did Davina fall asleep?
I fall
No,
asleep.
I'm right here.
You made it, did you?
I forgot to stretch, Davina, at the end. And then I suddenly realized, oh, we're supposed to put our hands.
Oh my
Um,
God. No, we were doing the toe stretch on my other yoga.
uh-huh.
And I'm going, oh God, I hate this thing.
I agree. I agree.
And then, the frog pose, right?
I hate
You
that.
can sit, you can sit down too,
No,
right? You can go the squat
Yeah, you should do the
like
squat.
this, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hated that too.
my knees aren't what they used to be.
I was just picturing George doing the frog pose.
What?
I could see the excitement on his face.
The frog pose.
It's
Uh,
No.
just, I find it so good though that we can sit on the block. I find that makes incredible difference with the frog and the squat that you just did, Davina.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was hard. I the frog and those frogs, whatever we're doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't done this for a long time. It
Yeah.
hurts.
It's so good for the hips though.
Yeah.
Yeah. My hip is like an
Excellent.
old lady.
loving every minute of it.
Yep.
So I'm not even gonna promise you. Yeah, let's just see if I'm gonna show up tomorrow, Mark.
All right. I know. I just wait till like 8:58. I'm like, is Davina here or is she not here today?
Well, I didn't have a car the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't go. I was up. I was up.
Well, good job, you guys. It was great.
Yes.
Anyways, we'll see you next Sunday, guys.
Yeah, see you, I mean.
Have a
Bye,
good
guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.